Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover Warren20 here, and I'm here with a new movie review. And this is going to be for a film that came out 10 years ago, in 2010. And that was, of course, for none other than. Actually, this is a movie a lot of people really don't know about, except for me and one other friend who's not a YouTuber, are the only two that seem to really know about this movie's existence. And that, of course, is none other than Buried. So, yeah. So, all of you who probably don't know, before the Deadpool movies came out, this was considered to be Ryan Reynolds' most acclaimed movie role. And I would definitely have to agree. Well, until we got Deadpool 1 and 2, anyways. And this was all filmed entirely within 17 days in one location. No flashbacks, no. This movie does not leave the coffin at all. They do explain how he got there, but they don't show how he got there at all. There's no flashbacks in this movie. It is kind of like the concept of Saw in the way, but with the character being trapped in one location, except it's just one guy in a wooden box, not two guys in a bathroom or torture cellar. No. There's like none of that. There's none of that Shaw shit. It's not like those stupid torture cellar movies that just try to do the same old dumb Saw crap because they think it's always better. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Craptivity. Or even the other dumb stuff that always tries to be like hostile and do some kind of torture ring in a foreign area. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Taristas. It's just one guy in a coffin, buried alive. The whole movie. What is the movie about? Now let's get to the plot. An American truck driver named Paul Conroy is working in Iraq for contractor Kristen Rowland and Thomas. He is the last truck in a convoy that is attacked by unknown forces. Being knocked on the head, probably by a rock, is the last thing he remembers before he awakens, gagged, his wrists bound, and locked and buried in an old-fashioned handmade wooden coffin. After he is able to remove the gag and the wrist constraints, he finds in the coffin a lighter which provides some illumination, a pen, and most importantly a smartphone with approximately 60% battery life. The phone, set to some Arabic script which he does not understand, was placed there as a means of communication with his unknown captors, who are demanding a ransom of $5 million in 21 minutes, which is a few hours. Paul uses the phone to try to contact anyone who he thinks can help him, including his wife back in Michigan, the U.S. State Department, and CRT, which is not easy for him as he would like. Over time, he is able to find other items in the coffin, again placed there purposely by his captors, for other things they ask him to do. Some of these items may become useful for Paul in his survival. On his captors, there are other obstacles to Paul making it out alive. Some obvious, such as a lack of air, the phone dying, and the box not being reinforced. But there are some other obstacles and dangers, perhaps the most fearful to him being some other people on the other end of the phone. Yeah, that's the plot of Buried. No torture chamber, no torture cellar, all in a coffin. No flashbacks? No. They don't cut away from ever the coffin. This movie is permanently set in the coffin, never leaves that location. As basically we are trapped with like Paul through the story, you actually feel for him. He's not like those jerk ass protagonists you see in a routine popcorn horror movie. No. It actually isn't really even a horror movie. It's more of a thriller. Like, you can honestly put yourself in that situation and can't imagine the pain and horror for what he goes through. Literally, the one nightmare everyone has of when they die is being buried alive. Because that would you give you two choices. Either you die of suffocation or starvation. Either way, it's slow and you have to wait to die. So naturally, you're kind of connecting with Paul. But then it's when you get to know his situation that you actually really start to feel for him. He's kind of just, like I said, not those true protagonists. He's kind of just this normal guy trying to make money for his family and was basically put in the wrong place at the wrong time. And plus, even when after he makes a ransom video, eventually there's one scene where his own company basically fires him during this situation where after having an affair with this one worker who was also killed by the terrorists, and like they in a way do kind of show her death, but it's through like really grainy footage, and they show like the gun being pointed at her head, and they just cut away when the gunshot fires. You only really hear the shot fire. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, they basically fire for that, and they say we're not going to provide you anything. We are terminating your contract for this, and yeah, they basically that whole company just leaves them there to die. Basically, they don't give a damn about a situation, and yeah, but yeah, this film is directed by Rodrigo Cortez and is written by Chris Sparling, who, by the way, after this went on to go write a bunch of bullshit after this movie like ATM. No, really, guys, there's a movie called ATM. It sucks. Avoid it. Rodrigo Cortez hasn't really directed much movies after this, but he has directed some. I just forget the name of them, but can't believe he's not directed that many. Doesn't really direct that many movies because he should be given that opportunity. And I can see why it was kind of no one really knows this movie's existence because it wasn't really wide released, despite the critical acclaim it got. It didn't do much business at the North American box office, and especially considering how claustrophobic it really is, so I can kind of see that. And of course, well, and I'm gonna try not to spoil this, but if you're looking for a happy ending in this story, there isn't one. No. This movie does not have a happy ending. That's the only thing I'm gonna spoil. So if you're looking for a happy ending, you're not gonna like this movie. And if you're especially definitely not gonna like it, and definitely wouldn't recommend it if you're claustrophobic. Because this is a very, very claustrophobic film. And it is a little hard, and it's definitely very hard to sit through them. Eventually, near the end, he still doesn't get the money, and so the terrorist has him do something worse. Cuts off his finger, or he's going to threaten his family to show blood back home. And which he does, but they don't, once again, they don't show the finger being cut for once. Like, they don't just try to shock the viewer, like in Craptivity, or Doris does with their gore. They cut away. They just, like, you could just hear that slice with finger. Like, you just show, like, the finger and him videoing the finger and his finger he's about to cut, and you don't show it. They just cut away. They just cut to his face as he does it after that. So yeah, there's not really any gore. If you're looking for gore, I also probably not gonna like it if you're looking for a few gore stuff. Like, this is more of a Hitchcock style film, and if you love those kind of movies, I would maybe give this movie a watch and watch. But until then, it's kind of your choice. How would I rank Buried? I'm gonna rank it an 8 out of 10. It's definitely one of the best low budget films and one of the better movies of 2010. Yeah, I'm surprised not very many people know this film. Like, like only whenever I talk to anybody about this film, like I never. What's that? I never saw it. Like, it's like me and one other friend are the only ones who know of this movie's existence. It's kind of sad, really. But until then, guys, that'll be it for this review. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.